Welcome back. It's time to get interactive and grab your tablet. You know, let me tell you, I find it very interesting when I'm in town and I see somebody gets a call and he goes like this, hello. It's amazing. You use that for a phone.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who have that.
Know. So
but I know people who also plug it into their headphones, and so they don't have to.
Yeah, do it like the way that other people do like that.
Exactly.
Anyway, so what are we discussing today?
Quite a number of things today. Let me get right into it.
Okay.
Firstly, the electricity and water tariffs increase. Is it justified? And what do industry players and the man on the street think?
You are asking the worker to pay more for power, to pay more for water, yet the income of that same worker is meager. So do the government now want Ghanaians to be armed robbers or what?
We are paying more than what we even get, and now we are adding the water bill to it. In fact, Ghana is becoming something else.
More on that soon. And Kwame Nkrumah once said the independence of Ghana is meaningless until it is linked to the total liberation of the African continent. Almost 60 years after independence, is Ghana truly independent? That was the topic of discussion at the Joy FM debates.
You go and vote for politicians whose only essence is to make money for themselves.
The people in Nkrumah suspected tried to assassinate him, included his own men in the CPP.
Finally, Nigeria decides. Will it be incumbent Goodluck Jonathan or former military ruler Muhammadu Buhari? This is JN Interactive, and my name is Ifwa Akwa Harrison. I'll be right back. Remember, you can join us via all our social media platforms. We're on Facebook. It's Joy News on TV. Same handle on Twitter at Joy News on TV or at JN Interactive GH. You can also send us an email. It's joynewsim@multitvworld.com, or send your messages via WhatsApp. The number is 054 010 9009. Now, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission has increased electricity and water tariffs. The tariff for electricity has gone up by 2.63%. Water has shot up by 1.06%. The new tariff increment is expected to take off on April 1st. Now, hearing about these increments may seem mind-boggling to some of you, especially in the wake of the irrational water supply and the current load shedding or doom. So maybe it's an April Fool's Day joke. We asked you what you thought about it. Here are your views.
Apparently we are not having everything as it should be. So me, for one, I don't see the reason why they have to increase it. So at least if the government can do something about it to let us have the supply of the electricity, we shall be okay. Yes. So for that matter, I don't see the reason why they have to increase it, because apparently we are suffering.
Yeah, I think the increment is unfortunate because there's poor in service delivery. So if you are not improving in the service that you are rendering to the people, why then do you cause them to pay higher than poor service delivery? You understand that? Because if there has been any improvement in the service delivery, even in the first quarter of 2015, such increment will have been reasonable. And now PURC is also having the effort to tell us that we have to pay more. A regulatory body that should be on the part of the citizenry is now joining hands with, I don't know whether I should say with the government or with ECG and VI or whatever, or Ghana Water, to put more burden on the ordinary Ghanaian. Besides, there has not been any salary increment for Ghanaian workers. You are asking the worker to pay more for power, to pay more for water, yet the income of that same worker is meager. So do the government now want Ghanaians to be armed robbers or what?
Honestly, think the government should have, or the PURC should have deferred the increment until the doomsday has been rectified. Because increasing at this time, we are putting more pressure. Already the doomsday is causing a lot of hardship on Ghanaians already. So increasing it will exacerbate the problem.
They are not giving it the right light. Look at the doomsday. To buy credit, the same credit that we used to buy, we are buying it at the same rate. Meanwhile, we don't get a normal electricity. So for me, to increase electricity at this time of the year is not normal. They should leave it like that or even reduce it.
It's very terrible because, as we know now, the doomsday crisis, we are not enjoying the electricity as we have to. And yet we are paying more than what we even get. And now we are adding the water bill to it. In fact, Ghana is becoming something else.
Your views from the streets on the latest utility tariff increments. Now, how much can a 1% to 2% increase in tariffs really do? Communications Manager of the Ghana Water Company Limited, Stanley Mate, now joins us on the telephone to explain how the new tariff increment will enhance operations of the Ghana Water Company. Welcome to Joy News Interactive, sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
So, can we really say that the public will be assured of constant water supply following an increment in water tariffs in April?
We have always assured the general public that we'll do the best within our means to give them very good services. And we have been working very hard towards that. But the thing is, we have been working under serious stress. And with this tariff, it's going to worsen our plight. But be it as it may, we still will work hard to make sure we provide them. But the tariff adjustment is woefully inadequate and cannot change anything in our operation. Wow. But the thing is, we are committed towards providing very good services to the people of Ghana, and will continue to do that.
So how much does the Ghana Water Company need for things to improve? If you say a 1% to 2% increment is really low, actually GWCL is getting a 1.06% increment. So, I mean, how much really does the company need to turn things around for the Ghanaian?
We requested for a 21% increase in the tariffs, only to be given 1.06%. So you could see that the difference alone is such that I don't think every layman will be able to say or to know that this wouldn't help the Ghana Water Company Limited in any way. But like I keep saying, we are committed to serving the people of Ghana very well. So even under the circumstances in which we find ourselves, we still will work hard to make sure that we provide very good services. In the last few years, you will attest to the fact that there has been a number of projects that have been commissioned by the president, and these are projects that have the government has supported the Ghana Company Limited with, the Ghana Water Company Limited with. So we are doing all we can. The government is supporting us so that we can provide very good services. But the thing is, the tariffs is not helping us. We are unable to break even and unable to make enough profit. We are not able to make some break even. How much more do we make some profit?
But
seriously, with the revenue that comes in, we only reinvest into the system to improve on the system. We need to rehabilitate our pumps. We need to import chemicals for the production, and 40% of our overhead goes into energy alone. So if one component is taking this thing and close to half half our overhead, half our revenue, how do we provide very good services with
Mr. Mate, I'll have you hold on for a bit. Mr. Solomon Kote joins us on the line. He's with the ICU, and you know, people on the streets are already upset that there's been a 1% increase, even though, you know, Mr. Mate, you say it will not in any way.
The 1% is insignificant if I have to break it into monetary values.
Yeah.
Monetary values. So if you permit me, let me do that.
Okay.
With a 1% increase, we are yet to compute, but it means it's very clear that 1,000 liters of water, which is equivalent to 220 gallons of water, and in the layman terms, let's say about 8 drams of water, it's less than 2 cedis 50 pesos. Okay, it's less than 2 cedis 50 pesos, 1,000 liters of water. So what are people complaining about? How much do they buy a bucket of water? How much do they buy a gallon of water? What is the cost of credit?
Mr. Kote, would you like to...
the cost of water.
Sorry to cut you, Mr. Mate, but Mr. Kote, would you like to jump in here? What do you make of this latest tariff increments and what Mr. Mate is saying about it being very insignificant? How will it affect your people? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Kote.
Yes.
Welcome to Joy News Interactive.
Thank you.
I've been asking, how do you feel about the 1% tariff increment on water?
Well, to us, we think it's significant. If my brother out there is arguing that it's about 50 pesos and what have you, he should find out the volumes of water that one needs to use a day and its cumulative effect. That aside, those in industry already are choked with other overheads that are very unbearable to business in itself. And we are saying that we haven't argued anywhere that it shouldn't increase. But we are saying the timing by which they have come up with this, if the whole government together with employers and labor have to go into tripartite for minimum wage and end up with 1 Ghana city, okay, and then come up and give us such an increase with electricity and water. Obviously, the way labor ought to even negotiate, we are not able to do so because the economy itself is facing a lot of challenges. And we think if anything at all, this is a time that the government will show goodwill to Ghanaians. This is a time government will show some amount of sensitivity to say it's about time we hold on a little and allow the people to have some release, and then this thing can actually roll.
But Mr. Kote, wouldn't you say that it is goodwill that has probably put us in this pot already? I mean, I'm sure that is what Mr. Mate would be thinking. He's saying that they need a 21% increase in utility tariffs, at least for water, and they were only given 1%.
Well, that they are parameters that they use to set up, whatever charges are there to be made. We have engaged some energy experts who are looking at the reality of those taxes vis-a-vis what we are paying even on the ground. So they have their challenges, and we also have our challenges. If as it stands now, labor is not able to negotiate well and get the correlated income to enable us meet the cost of living, and the cost of living keep rising, and our income keep also trickling in the face of this inflation and all that, then are we going or we are coming? It is the burden that is coming too much that makes it relevant to the point that if even it is 20 pesos, okay, it's a burden to roll on. So they shouldn't think that these are utilities that no Ghanaian can say, I will not use water, I will not use electricity.
Mr. Matt, sorry to cut you, Mr. Kote, but I just want to finally take a quick comment from Mr. Mate before we wrap up with you. Are you still with us, Mr. Mate?
Yes, I'm on the line.
What would you have to say to Mr. Kote?
He also has a point, but the thing is, would he want to cripple the Ghana Water Company Limited? Because he says himself that every human being needs water to survive. So it means that we need to protect some of these utility companies, like the Ghana Water Company Limited, so that all Ghanaians can survive. So if we are not paying realistic tariffs, and we are crippling the Ghana Water Company Limited, how are we going to survive? Now, assuming people are not getting water in their homes the way they should, and they will have to walk long distances to get water daily. Or let's look at a scenario prior to recent times that we have had to commission some new projects. People were walking long distances before they had water. People were getting water once in a week, once in 2 weeks. Okay, what was the impact on their life? Now it is 24/7. What is the impact on your life now? Let us assess all those things. Is it important, or is it okay for the utility companies to survive so that we can also survive? If you look at all those things, then at least let us pay a bit higher so that we can get good services. That it will impact positively on our lives.
All right, thank you very much. I've been speaking with Mr. Stanley Marty of the Ghana Water Company Limited, and also Solomon Kote with the ICU also joined us on the telephone lines. They were talking about the increase in utility tariffs. Water has gone up by 1.06%, electricity is to go up by just over 2%. But let's see what you are saying out there on social media. And Ronald Yeboah thinks it's a great idea if only what we pay for will be utilized to its importance. Why not? I think it won't be a crime. All we need is for it to be fixed, and fixed well for all. Moses Atibila says, oh Ghana, now everything now increase, are we safe? Junior Labs Camry says, honestly speaking, I don't know whether to keep blaming this government for all our woes, or we are just all suffering from the karma of the election petition case some time ago. I mean, who does this? If on the other hand things are smooth for those we term the ordinary Ghanaians, certainly there would be no need to complain. Every new tax here, new tax there. Well, I just hope these increments will be used to benefit us all, because I am in no mood to listen and accept any justification for this. And final one from Ahmed Toure. He says, I want to ask those in charge what they really think of Ghanaians. How come the Dumso situation is not solved? Our water is not free from impurities, and increments are imposed. I am very, very sad at this moment. May God help Mother Ghana. So these are your views coming on social media. Now we bring you some excerpts from the Joy FM debate on the topic, Ghana's independence has lost its meaning. Apparently we were buzzing on social media. Lord Harris Edu Asare brings you what's trending.
We sit down and almost are just prepared to be subservient in everything that we do. We seem to want to lose the battle. But I'm saying that Ghana's independence prepared us and put us on a platform for accelerated progress. And you and I have conspired to make sure that does not happen. And you have the audacity to sit down and say Ghana's independence has lost its meaning. It has certainly not lost its meaning. I sit down, you go and vote for politicians whose only essence is to make money for themselves. Whose fault is it? If you had voted against all those who have come and have made money for themselves, Ghana will be in this situation? But independence is not only economic development. No, it isn't. The fact that you're free and the fact that you will not be shot at 28th February crossroads is enough for you as a human being.
You live in a country and people are galvanized to fight for independence. Ghanaians thought once we become independent, we are free. Well, here's the problem. You live in a country with so much hope, resources at its disposal, and then the first president takes over, and as I told you, the very people who could have helped him do a very good job became his enemies. We hear in Ghana, people say things like bomb throwers. We forget that the people Increment suspected tried to assassinate him included his own men in the CPP. Well, here's the problem. If you make yourself president for life, if you make a law that says one party state, if you institute PDA, Prevention Detention Act, that you could be arrested without charge for any reason and imprisoned for 5 years, later changed to 10 years.
Thank God it's Friday. Now, you remember yesterday we had the second edition of our Independence Day debate, right? Well, it's been trending on Twitter, and the hashtag Nigeria Decides is also trending ahead of the polls tomorrow. Let's go find out some of the reactions. And this is Akwesi Nyakon. Akwesi Nyakon is actually talking about the Joy debate. So he says it'll be really interesting to have economists debate the same motion next time. Right, we'll consider that. Now, Cooks Soraya says, now we need more hashtag Joy debates with people outside the demographic that screwed us for diversity of perspective. NS Owusu Eyim, love this program, hashtag Joy debates. We need more of such intellectual discourse to move forward as a nation. Thumbs up. Well, thank you very much, Ernest. Benedict Wachira. Interesting how Nigeria's army is destroying Boko Haram just days to the elections. Maybe they need elections every month. You don't say. Next one is from Daniel Emeka. Don't be surprised if there's a nationwide broadcast this evening or tomorrow announcing Sheikh House capture or death. I will be thrilled. Next, let's go to Tomi Ajiboye. Now, she says, for the first time in a long time, I am not quite certain the outcome of this presidential election. Really? That's the first? I mean, the first person I'm hearing saying that, though. Here's another tweet from Saleh Shehu Ashaka. When you succeed, you earn something. When you fail, you learn something. You need both. Vote, not fight. Fantastic. So, those were some of your tweets there. This has been What's Trending, and I am Lord Harris Udasari. Back to you, Epo.
Thank you, Lord. And a few comments on WhatsApp. I have this one coming from Kumbasi Muniru. He says, I just pray that Nigeria should vote in peace, and that's on the Nigerian election. And then Augustine in Brekum says, I don't know when Ghanaians will hear good news. Every day, increment this, increment that. Ghana. So that's on the PURC increasing utility tariffs. Steve, you're welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Friday. I'm in a hurry to go home.
Really?
But I have doom in my house. So
And
I don't know how I'm going to...
And from next month, you have an extra...
I know. I have to pay more.
Yeah.
If I tell you how much I pay for my house with less gadgets, you'll be screaming.
Anyway, that's how we wrap up on today's show.
Nigerian brothers are voting tomorrow.
All the best. We'll be praying for you for a peaceful election.
And the outcome will be very important to us, so for vote well. Right, so my name is Stephen.
My name is Efo Akwa Harrison.
And have a great weekend.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.